Hey everyone, Tony D in the Piney podcast. Good news today. Numbers are down. New cases are only at about 2,100. Looks good, but don't let that number fool you. Again, just like when the numbers went high, you have to worry about. They're just not testing enough. They can't get enough test process. And keep in mind too, some of these tests are just sitting in a lab somewhere waiting on the results. So this is really probably the test from a few days ago. You know, some places just shut down. It's hard to get information on the weekend. These people all go home. It's a pandemic. Oh, it's weekend. Sorry, try not to get sick until Monday. Uh, don't get all wrapped around the axle about the numbers. I mean, they're a general sense of how we're doing. If we can stay below 3,000 for a week, then yeah, I mean, we're definitely headed in a downward trend. We are in a downward trend. It's funny, I go to NewJersey.com and it's like, death toll continues to climb. And then, only 2,100 cases. Like, the media guys really are just pathetic when, look, I get it. You want to get readers. I do that too with my headlines. But this is kind of a different situation. This is a crisis. You got to pump the brakes on a crisis and just give people information they're already in. Like, I already want to know about the virus every single day. You don't have to sell me. You don't have to entice me with the numbers. You just have to report them. So stop it, please, for God's sake. An interesting bit of South Jersey Piney news. Skelly's Amusement. They are in Williamstown on Glassboro Road, 322, down by 322, if you know where that is. They are doing carnival food takeout. Yes. So you can call up, order a bunch of cotton candy apples, all the fun foods you love from the carnival, including some ice cream. Pull up and they'll get it all bundled up for you, and it's just like carnival takeout. And then you could go home and, I don't know, eat a bunch of crap and rip each other off with carny games, I guess. So if you're dying for a little taste of summer already, go down the Skelly's, because that's pretty clever idea. No one else is doing it. That would be fun for your kids, right? They've been cooped up all this time, can't get out to the carnival. Go out, get them a bunch of sugar and wind them all up, and I don't know, pretend to have like a carnival in your backyard. Go on the swings and, pretend you're, set up the milk bottles using, I don't know, some other bottles, and go to town. Go to town in that carny way that South Jersey loves to do. Speaking of carny stuff, the boardwalk is a big thing down here, in case you don't know. And Memorial Day means the opening of summer. Down the shore, the boardwalk, where the carnival games are, and all the stuff I just mentioned, and more. So the question is, are we going to be open for Memorial Day weekend? God, I hope so. I think the governor would be an idiot to close down. And quite frankly, at the rate he's opening things back up, I still say he's taking way too long. Open it up, Phil. Open up the floodgates. You really, at this point, what are you waiting for? The lockdown, in my view, is not going to do much more mitigation as long as people put on a mask and social distance. Now, in some places around the Northeast, and of course, these are usually Democratic governors, Democrats, I should say. They think they're helping people by putting up a snitch line. Oh, snitch on your neighbors if they're not social distancing. That is the worst idea ever. It's first off, it's not illegal to break the line or break the 6 feet or whatever. It's just not illegal, and it shouldn't be. Are you going to actually arrest people? And they are in some states. They arrested a bunch of guys who, I think they were in a park or they were going windsurfing or something. Look, there's no reason to lock these people up. They let out real criminals from the prisons ahead of this. And now you're going to lock people up for messing up the social distancing. That is just ridiculous. Do not do that. I am completely against arresting anybody for not properly social distancing. Now, if an incident occurs because of that, if somebody starts shoving or whatever, then you could deal with it then. But the actual act of arresting someone for social distancing, and hey, I'm not going to, get it bent out of shape if a cop says, come on, people, let's social distance here, as long as he doesn't get too confrontational and understands that it's not illegal and knows how to handle that. There's a way to handle that. I mean, look, if you run a business and you come out and you see a line of your customers and some of them don't have masks and some of them aren't social distancing, this is what you do. You come out and say, excuse me, everyone, I know you're my customers and I very much want to serve you, but please, I'll ask you to social distance, and if you do not have masks, please, I'll provide you with one, or please go home and get one, because we need to keep this a germ-free environment during this crisis. And if somebody balked, if somebody got out of hand, I'd say, well, I'm going to have to ask you to leave if you're not going to do that. I can't serve you ahead of everybody just to get you out of here. That's unfair to them. And I cannot keep you here while you're germing up the place. And I understand that you're germ-free. That's great. Just please go get a bandana or a mask, or just go out to your car, get a hanky, a t-shirt, anything, just so you're at least attempting the social distance, and as a courtesy to the other customers in here. And you just have to be very grounded and professional and polite. And if you have somebody that blows their top and loses their mind, you just have to de-escalate. You have to say, I understand. Well, that's actually the wrong thing to say. You have to say, sir, I don't want to upset you. I'm trying to work with you. I'll ask you that you work with me on this. Everybody here is worried about this virus, and they're worried about getting sick. I don't know if you're a doctor. Are you a doctor? Okay. Then my understanding of this virus is it's very difficult to diagnose. People have what are called asymptomatic variants. They have the virus. They have no symptoms. So it's impossible to tell if they had it unless they've had a virus test. Have you had a virus test recently? Okay. Well, then, your knowledge of it you may not know. You may have it and you may not know. And I'm not trying to say that to upset you. I'm trying to say that because I want everybody to be in my shop and be calm, cool, and collective. And you're just going to have to explain that to a rabid customer who's going out of their mind. And if they get bent out of shape and they leave, well, at least you have the rest of the customers, right? And quite frankly, 99% of people are fine with that. If you come out and you say, please, let's social distance, people are more than willing to go, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. As long as you're polite and respectful of people. Now, there's always one hothead in the mix who's going to get I've been a customer here for 20 years. I don't have to put up with this. Those kind of people are going to get mad no matter what you say. They just want attention. They're like little children who didn't get attention when they were kids, and so they whine and plead whenever anybody gets them bent out of shape. You just have to deal with them. That's what the cops have to do. That's what business people have to do. That's what we all have to do. We don't need to make laws against these people, okay? Throwing these kind of whiny babies into jail just makes them worse. Makes them feel that they are victims. That's what they're trying to be. They're trying, oh, you're picking on me. I've been a customer for 20 years. You throw them in jail. Oh, you're picking on me. I was a customer there for 20 years and you just drew me out. You just don't like me. People are like that. They're more than willing to play the victim to get what they want. So don't feed into that. Just be polite to them. Tell them what the deal is and be a grown-up about it. And most people around you will appreciate it and it'll be fine. And don't do anything weird. 99% of the time that's going to work. They'll leave the store and they'll probably be back. They'll probably be back. So that's what you need to do. And if we open things up, most people will do that, and some people will get bent out of shape. Sometimes the person bent out of shape will be the owner. Hey, get the F out of my store. What? Why? You don't have a mask. Oh my God, I forgot it in the car. Nope, too late, get out. It's his business. He should be able to do that. If he wants to lose customers that way, that's fine. That's fine. You just have to live with it. And go about your business and go somewhere else. Don't make a big deal about it, okay? So, that's it for the Piney podcast. So get out there, Pineys. Try to get things rolling here as much as Phil will let you. And hopefully things will be opening up soon. And Phil, open the beaches up. It's the beaches. It's going to be in the 70s in a couple of weeks. It's not going to matter. Memorial Day is definitely not going to matter at all. It'll probably be, mid 70s all day long, bright sunshine, people on the beach. Just ask them to social distance, and they will. Who the hell wants to be on top of each other on the beach anyway? It's the whole point. You don't want, hey, buddy, move over. This is we're social distancing. Please, that's a perfect opportunity for me to tell people to move over. or if they set up right on top of you, you can say, come on, social distance, please. Move over a little bit. And if you're one of these people who are just going to set up next to someone, don't be an asshole. Understand that there's going to be social distancing. Don't see two people who are 6 feet apart and then set up right in between them. That's a dick move. There's plenty of room on the beach. Just set up far away from people like a normal human being would do. Don't be a dick on the beach. Let's all try to get along in this because, the big news is, too, they're predicting, and I don't know how true this is, it's an economic model, so it's a guess. They're predicting that 28% of the economy in New Jersey will shrink. That's a big number. It sounds scary. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's just back where we were with Obama, which wasn't great, but it's not like Depression era levels. A lot of people are saying a lot of things. So let's just open the things up, try to get things rolling. Maybe in another month, by the end of May, we'll have something to celebrate Memorial Day weekend. And, maybe we could put most of this behind us. But at the same time, keep the mask on, keep distancing, and, keep wiping things down and washing your hands. Because, even into May, the temperatures are going to go up and down. It's still not going to be quite warm enough. Once we get into June, July, and it's 80 degrees every day, we're going to be in much better shape. So hang tight, Pineys. We're coming out of this, and we're coming out strong.